Hi, this is my second video reflection following today's class, Tuesday, June 19th. I thought today was a very successful day of class. I really benefited from the continued discussions throughout the day about Common Core and even our introduction to the 8 standards of mathematical practice we talked about this morning as well. I thought that was a great tie-in to some of the things that I guess all teachers will have to know about very soon once Common Core standards are implemented within our classrooms in the very near future. I also continue to enjoy just the variety of activities we've done throughout each of our sessions together. I really liked this morning the 100 grid game that we started out the morning with, where we tried to guess a mystery number based on some different clues. I feel that's something that's very effective that I could even do in my own classroom, just kind of as a way to warm up and get the students starting to think about numbers and operations in different ways in the classroom. And that's something I really took out of uh, this morning's start. Also, I really appreciated just the continued variety of problems we've worked on in the classroom the past 2 days. I really liked the painted cubes problem from today, as well as the recursive patterns problems we worked on. And not only the problems were challenging, I also really appreciated the follow-up discussions we had about how those problems could be tweaked to help maybe a teacher in the elementary grades utilize problems like this in the classroom and still touch on algebraic concepts, even at maybe not as high of a level as maybe other teachers might in some of the upper grades as well. Looking at some of the questions based on today's class session, some of the benefits I gained today working with teachers across different grade levels was I was able to still make a lot of connections between what I teach in the classroom and how it is connected to even students in higher grade levels as well. I really benefited from discussing with the other elementary teachers in the class the article we read from last night and how we were able to make connections from that article to what we do each day inside of our own elementary classrooms as well. And then to follow up from there, I thought that the follow up discussion we had with the entire class, where we were trying to make connections between the elementary article, the middle school article, and the high school article, was really neat to see, and how we were all able to kind of figure out that across any grade level that we were teaching, algebraic reasoning deals with the thought process and not simply the task that students are being asked to solve. Looking at some of the experiences of me working with teachers across grade levels and how that impacted my learning of algebra and functions, I thought one of the best parts about today was the uh, the learning we did using functions and in and out boxes. In and out boxes are something I did a lot of this past year in fourth grade, where students would have to either determine a rule based on the in and out box, or they'd have to fill in parts of an in and out box that was given to them, maybe only half full, or maybe they have to maybe a combination of even both, where they had to find out the rule and fill in the rest of the in and out box. And it was neat to see how the in and out boxes progressed once students got to middle school and high school, where maybe it was not just filling in boxes anymore, but it was also using more algebraic reasoning, and they had to find and use more formulas, and more variables were used as well, instead of just simply numbers, which is what I've seen as I've taught fourth grade. Teaching functions in and out boxes kind of gave me the deeper understanding about the next steps students take once they leave my classroom, and kind of the next steps they need in order to be successful when they reach fifth grade, seventh grade, even ninth grade, and even 12th grade. So it was very neat to see just that vertical articulation as students go from grade level to grade level on an algebraic concept like that, and kind of how I can go back to my own classroom and make sure that students are prepared to take that next step once they leave my classroom at the end of the school year. Thinking about some of the experiences I had today with teachers across different grade levels and how students learn best with algebra and functions, one of the things I really took away from today was that regardless of the grade level you might teach, hands-on learning in math is still something that's very useful and effective for children of all ages. And I thought that was very true today when we were able to work with some of the different manipulatives, especially for the painted cubes problem, where you had a group of 4 different teachers, one elementary, 2 middle school, and 1 high school, all working together at a table and trying to build the different cubes to try to figure out, I guess, the number of sides of each one of the smaller cubes that were painted. And that led me to believe that even a student in 11th or 12th grade would still find just as much benefit out of using manipulatives like the cubes we use in the classroom to help solve a problem like that. So if it works for a group of teachers in order to solve a problem, it can absolutely work for a group of high school students as well. So I feel that regardless of the grade level you might teach, manipulatives is a very effective tool to use in math regardless of the task that you might present to a student. Finally, some of the difficulties I think I experienced today working with teachers across the other grade levels. Yesterday, I touched on, I guess, the math vocabulary was a bit of a challenge for me to kind of get back into the math mode of thinking. And just to kind of go off of that, I felt that today it was challenging at times, I feel, for me to kind of keep up with some of the problems that were being presented because maybe those problems were geared more towards the middle school and high school teachers. And it kind of kind of gave me the chance I needed to kind of take a step back, kind of try to remember how I learned these problems years ago, and just some of the discussions maybe were a bit over my head because it's been a while since I've learned some of the ways that to complete problems like this when I was listening to some of the middle school and high school teachers talk, but it's something that's still very effective for me to see because I can take that back to my own classroom and kind of think about if this is how middle school and high school teachers are doing it, what can I do at the elementary level to make sure students are ready for that? Well, I thought all in all today was another very, very good day, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we'll be doing tomorrow in class as we reach the middle of our time together. All right, I'm signing out.